Hello and welcome to The Balance. I'm your host, Andreana Jackson, a realtor with over a decade of experience in the Miami real estate market. Today I have a special show for you. We're going to do a judicial spotlight with Judge Mavel Ruiz.
Mavel Ruiz.
Mavel Ruiz.
Yes. I've been on the bench 11 years, so I'm running for re-election.
Well, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's great.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, let's see. This is my third term, and the elections are August 18th. I was born in Cuba. I came to Miami when I was 5 years old, so I know a lot of people can relate to that experience.
Mm-hmm.
I come from very, very humble beginnings, and when I say humble, I mean humble. My mom, for example, has a second grade education. My father, a sixth grade education. But they came to the United States. They, followed the rules, worked very, very hard, and we've lived the American dream. It's incredible. They believed very much in education, so that's what I did. I am, like many people, the first in my family to graduate from college, to get a higher degree, a law degree, the first elected official.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Hialeah High. I am a proud thoroughbred.
Awesome.
Proud thoroughbred. But now there are, I think, 4 or 5 lawyers in my family, including my daughter, whom I had the honor of swearing in about a month ago. So I swore her into the bar, and I swore her in as an assistant state attorney, as a prosecutor. But guess what I did when I was a lawyer?
Tell me.
I was a defense attorney.
So she went on the other side.
So she was on the other side. All this time I've been taking her to court since she was just a few months old, and she's been watching court. And, and she never told me, Mom, I really can relate more to the prosecution than to the defense. But I'm incredibly proud of her, and she's a very fair-minded person. So in my house, there was a defense attorney and a prosecutor, and I didn't even know it.
Oh, that's amazing feat.
Yeah.
What true American dream. You came here, you worked hard, education. Where did you go to law school?
I went to law school at Rutgers. I went to Rutgers undergrad in Newark, and then I went to Rutgers Law School in Newark.
Okay.
Wonderful program. I graduated in 1994.
Okay.
And then soon after that, I came back home to Miami.
Okay. And then how long did you practice law before you...
That's a great question. I practiced law for 19 years before I thought I was ready to rule on my colleagues' motions and to preside over their trials. So 19 years of experience. I had 50 jury trials. And that's important, Andreana, because a jury trial is complicated. And it's a big expense to have to try a case all over again if you get it wrong.
Right.
So it's really good to get it right the first time. And that's why experience matters. So I had 50 jury trials as a lawyer before I thought, you know what? I think I can do this. I think I can be a judge.
That's important because there's so many new judges who don't have that many years of experience under their belt.
Some of the some of the new judges may be young, but a lot of them come from the criminal arena. So they've been prosecutors, they've been defense attorneys. So that means that they have many, many, many jury trials. For example, I know one particular person who had 70 trials. He'd been a lawyer for much less than me, but he had a tremendous amount of experience. So experience matters.
Oh, yes.
Experience matters. I mean, there's different types of experiences. I guess age, with wisdom and, having been a lawyer for 19 years, I wasn't a spring chicken.
Well,
and when I was elected, but I certainly, I had both in that respect, I feel.
Okay. How many years have you been on the bench right now?
I've been on the bench 11 years. It's going to be 12 years this December, actually early January. But I've been a lawyer for like practically 30 years.
Right.
I think I was sworn into the bar in 1996, and we're in 2026, so 30 years.
Yeah, 30 years.
Yeah.
That's a plethora of experience.
It's a lifetime.
And tell us, what circuit are you on?
So I am in circuit civil.
Okay.
So the lower courts are the county court.
Okay.
And the county court can deal with misdemeanors, no felonies, crimes punishable by up to 364 days in jail. And I believe their money jurisdiction is under $50,000. So that would be the county courts.
Okay.
Then there are the circuit courts, which is where I am at. So circuit court judges, and this is why experience matters, circuit court judges try death penalty cases.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we tried death penalty cases. I, for example, have tried 2 tobacco cases, which is probably the most complex and difficult cases to try in circuit court.
A lot of science.
A lot of science, many rulings. The attorneys are extremely experienced. They travel from city to city all over the country trying these cases. So you have judges dealing with motions and with issues that are being developed and argued by attorneys practicing at the highest level of their profession.
Right.
I had, for example, in the first tobacco trial that I tried, 200 jurors.
Wow.
So I had to manage not only the attorneys, the motions, the clerks, the security, everything.
So many moving pieces.
So many moving pieces. And then on top of that, 200 jurors. And that was in the old courthouse, in the Miami-Dade County courthouse. This January, the second tobacco trial that I tried, we requested 250 jurors. So I was the first judge to use the 4th floor courtroom, which is adjacent to the jury pool room. So, whatever technicalities needed to be worked out in the new courthouse, I was part of them. And the jury pool is wonderful. The clerk's office does a great job managing the cases and the jurors. And so it's very complex. And again, experience matters.
It does. Tell me this. Well, after 19 years of practicing, what made you have the calling to run for judge?
So I started to get the feeling when I was in law school that I wanted to do public service. Money has never been a motivator for me. I think when I started at the public defender's office, I made $32,000. But that's what I wanted to do. Obviously, I could have gone into civil practice and made a lot more money in my career. So the first day that I walked into a courtroom was in juvenile delinquency in a courthouse that used to be on 27th Avenue. And the judge that I was assigned to was Judge Thomas K. Peterson, a wonderful man and very caring man. And he understood that these were children, these are kids. I represented a 9-year-old. So these were kids that were sometimes not well supervised, etc.
Right.
But watching Judge Peterson in courtroom 2-5 was a great inspiration because I saw all the good that he was doing. And that very first day, he inspired me. And I thought, one day I could do that. And so look at the irony of this in this world. In, I believe it was maybe January 12th of 2015, this woman right here put on a robe, and at 9 o'clock in the morning, I walked into that very same courtroom, 2-5, and I sat in Judge Peterson's chair at his bench, presiding for the first time as a judge in the same exact courtroom where I started my public defender legal career. Isn't that ironic?
That's inspiring. You can do it.
I think it's karma.
Right.
I think when your heart is in the right place, and when you lead by public service and by a sense of fairness and justice, I think this can happen, and it happened for me.
It's amazing,
isn't it?
And so you've been on the bench for 11 years.
Yes.
And you're up for re-election.
I am. I'm up for re-election. So now that I've been a judge for this long, I've done many, many, many more jury trials. I'm guesstimating close to 150 total, including the 50 that I tried as a lawyer. I believe that I had about 18 jury trials when I was assigned to criminal court, and we're in June, early June. I've probably tried 6 to 8 jury trials, including the tobacco trial that I started with. That was a 3-week trial in January. So, jury trials, as I mentioned, are complex.
Right.
And you have to know what comes next, and the attorneys count on you to know, because you're kind of the captain of that ship.
Right.
Right. And many cases get appealed.
Right. I mean, well, what you're doing is with these different cases is like they become a part of case law.
They do. That's exactly right. So I'm very proud of my appellate record. The last time I checked, which was about a month ago on Westlaw, I think I had a 13% reversal rate, that means I have an 87% rate of affirmed cases. But I've also done hundreds of bench trials, and those are trials without a jury. So
where you make the decision.
Where I make the decision, where obviously I have to listen to the plaintiff's point of view, to their arguments, and to the defense, and then I have to analyze the cases and the law, and then render my opinion. And so they are no less important to the people and companies that are litigating. There could be a bench trial with $1 million at stake, and there have been, and I've had to make those very, very difficult decisions. And so you have to be alert, you have to listen to the witnesses, weigh the witnesses' credibility, and then render a verdict, just like in a jury trial.
It's amazing. And it's having women on the bench is very important as well, just to get those different point of views, I believe.
There are many, many women on the bench now. One of the reasons why I would take my daughter to work, and I took her with me many, many times, is because I wanted her to see women in positions where they were being respected, like a courtroom. So my daughter saw, and I think it's important for both boys and girls.
Oh yeah,
to go to court with her parent, with lawyer parents, and but my daughter has been going to court since she's just a few months old, and she knows how to behave. She's never made a scene or cried or been inappropriate in a courtroom, and she's seen many really good female lawyers and female judges, and it's an inspiration. It's an inspiration for all of us.
It is. What keeps you going? As far as your calling to stay?
That's a really good question. You're really asking me profound questions. I wake up every day and I am 1,000% aware that I have to keep an open mind and listen to one side, and then know that there's another side who is patiently and respectfully waiting for me to hear their side. So like parents, when you have several kids, and the first one who talks might get you going.
Right.
Well, as a judge, you have to remain calm and open. You have to keep an open mind. So what keeps me going is the complete belief in myself that I can be fair and that I can listen to both sides. When I was an assistant public defender, I had great relationships with the prosecutors that I was working with. I mean, fantastic relationships, to the point where this is the second time that a defense attorney, former defense attorney, has been endorsed by the League of Prosecutors. And
That's a big deal.
It is such an important and significant endorsement for me, because what it means that those 19, 20 years that I worked with prosecutors, I never misrepresented anything. I never misled them. We were always respectful and honest and upfront with one another. And it's an endorsement, I think, of my character, because they've known me.
Your character, your work ethic.
That's it. For the full 30 years that I've been, 29 years that I've been in criminal court, and 30 years that I've been as a lawyer. So what keeps me going is a sense of fairness and righteousness that was instilled in me by my mother, that woman that I told you had a second-grade education, who came to the United States, worked for Hialeah Hospital for 44 years.
God bless her.
44 years, and rose from a nurse's aide to a secretary to handling other matters. And success is relevant, is relative. And my mother instilled that sense of righteousness and justice no matter what in me. She was 23 years old, Andreana, when she kissed her parents goodbye. And in 1966, when you did that, there was no going back. So there was a very real possibility that she would never see her mother and father and brothers and sisters ever again.
Wow.
So I've asked her throughout the years, Mom, why? Why did you do that? And every single time I ask her, she gives me the same answer. She says, I could not bear to see you in a uniform that the Communist Party requires you to wear, and being indoctrinated in something that just she did not feel was freedom.
Right.
So
that's a powerful thing. When people, I think we take it for granted a little bit, not taking in the immigrant story of these, people leaving everything behind.
Yeah.
Which I can phantom, leaving behind. I can't, you're saying goodbye to your family for the pursuit of happiness, for the pursuit of freedom.
Yeah.
And I think it's not to be taken lightly.
No, you're right. And so many people in this community know what that's like.
Right.
Yeah, she was, let me tell you. So we came over because of my uncle on my father's side, his service in the Army and other organizations. And so my mom was coming over with my father and me and my father's family.
Oh, okay.
Not a single person from her own family, not her brothers, not her parents, no one. So for a 23-year-old to do that for her child, I could never betray that sense of justice and fairness as a judge.
Right.
It would be a betrayal to the sacrifice that she made for me to decide a case on something other than the rule of law.
Right.
You know?
Does she get to see you sworn in?
Yes. she very much got to see me sworn in. Yeah.
Wow.
And at my investiture, I spoke about her, and I asked her to stand up, and everyone clapped for her. And she's just a very humble woman. I I was inspired to finally run for judge because I read a book called Against All Odds, written by a Cuban political prisoner. He'd been in prison for 20 years. He was a college student, and he simply disagreed with the revolution and its premise, and he was arrested, thrown in prison. And many political prisoners in Cuba have their trials, but the outcome is predetermined.
Right.
The judge, the defense attorney, and the prosecutor are all part of the Cuban Communist Party. So, of course, they're going to be found guilty, and they're going to be sentenced.
Right.
And so when I read that book, it was life-altering. That man who wrote that book, his name is Armando Valladares, and he was eventually released. I think he was in a wheelchair when he was released because of his malnutrition. But those type of trials, how could I come to the United States of America as a 5-year-old with everything that my family has sacrificed? And that type of judicial system where I was born, in the country where I was born, and do something other than follow the law.
Right. And not, I say, succumb to pressures about the outside world who want you to rule one way and you're like following the law. And so
that's it. And in every case, there's a party that prevails on their particular motion or overall, and there's one party that does not prevail. So it's a decision-making. My job is basically to make decisions.
Right.
Case after case, hearing after hearing. Sometimes I'll have, my schedule is such that I'll have 2 weeks where I hear motions and arguments and things like that, and then the other 2 weeks are dedicated to trials. And in those 2 weeks where I have hearings, I can have upwards of 250, 260 hearings.
Right.
So that means 250, 260 decisions.
And then here's the thing. A lot of people making your decisions and you're standing firm in your decisions. How did you, and I kind of hear it, but can you articulate to us a little bit more? How did you develop your confidence in your decision making?
Well, I think you have to be humble and have humility as a judge. And I hold lawyers in the highest esteem. I don't like it when people make jokes about lawyers. I know how hard lawyers work.
Right.
They work 7 days a week. They know their cases better than anyone. So I listen carefully to what the lawyers say, to their arguments, and I read what they give me. I listen to the other side, but ultimately I have to make that decision, and so I have to look at one side or the other and say, I agree with this proposition or this interpretation of the law, or I don't agree with this interpretation of the law, or the law is not clear and I have to use my own judgment to figure out, what did the legislature intend? What was it that they intended
Because
for
really
judges
what you're
to
doing,
do?
you're interpreting the law.
That's 100% what I'm doing. I am interpreting the law. I'm not inserting my own opinion. And I think it's hard for people to understand how judges can have a certain opinion or belief and be able to set that aside to follow the law. And it actually, it comes with experience, and it also comes with, I think, professionalism.
That's
So
key.
those 19 years where I was a lawyer, I didn't win every case. I didn't lose every case. There were some that I won, some that I lost, and I still have respect for my opponent, and they have respect for me. I remember a trial, the biggest trial of my career. It took 2 weeks. It was in front of a wonderful judge named George Rodriguez Chomat. He's since passed away. And it was a 2-week trial. I tried it with a wonderful, wonderful defense attorney named Zena Duncan. And Zena passed away last year at a very young age. But we tried that case, and we prevailed. So we got a not guilty on on all the charges. And I remember telling the opposing attorney what an incredible job he did, because he did. He handled the exhibits in such a seamless way, and exhibits can be confusing and things like that.
Right.
But he handled the exhibits, and he handled himself, and it was just a very professional presentation to the jury by both sides. You know,
Tell me this, what's the feeling of winning a trial?
that's interesting. So, defense attorneys, and that's what I did for 19 years. The job of a defense attorney is to present their client's side of things to the jury. That is separate from a defense attorney saying, I agree with everything that this person did, or I approve of this person committing this crime.
You don't.
Of course not. So you see, that's how a judge, or at least for me, how I developed that ability of separating my job from my personal opinions. Doing that for 19 years, I have to set aside my personal opinion about this person that I am representing, because that's not my role. That's not how our Constitution is set up. I'm not supposed to be judging this person also, because then they don't stand a chance. So the judge and the judge and the jury are the people that will judge this individual for what they did or didn't do. My job is limited to presenting his or her case to the jury, to make sure that everyone is following the law and that they're getting a fair trial and good, competent representation.
Amen.
So that's what I did.
It's in the Constitution. We're all entitled to a defense, correct?
Correct.
No matter if you agree with it.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And I know that people find it hard to understand how lawyers could represent someone charged of horrible, horrible crimes.
Right.
But we are human, and of course it affects us. But we have to separate our personal feelings from the job that we have to do.
And that's a good transition. So the name of the show is The Balance. And after, trying your cases, your days, how do you unwind a little bit as far as you're taking care of yourself?
As I told you, I don't come from humble beginnings.
Correct.
So I've really had to put myself through school. I've had to support myself, that has been a really good background for me, because the stress that I went through trying to get a degree, a 4-year degree, and then getting myself into law school, graduating from law school, passing the bar, coming back to Miami.
You had a lot on your shoulders.
I had a lot on my shoulders, so I learned how to deal with stress early on. And I got this ring that tells me when I'm stressed or not. And believe it or not, I have tremendous peace of mind.
You seem, from meeting you, you seem like a very peaceful woman talking to you over the phone. So I can hear it. You're even.
Yes, it's very, very important. One thing a rule that I live by, which gives me probably just the most quality of life of anything, is being grateful. I am grateful for absolutely everything that I have. I'm very well aware of how lucky I am that my parents made the sacrifice that they did to bring me to the United States, that my parents encouraged education, that they guided me and they taught me to obey the law and to follow the rules. I pray every night.
Yes.
And I express always how grateful I am for what I've had in the past and for what I will have in the future. So I think gratitude is a guiding light for me.
That is amazing. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for being a guest today. Your election's August 18th?
August 18th.
Okay.
So some people might get confused. It's not in November for me. I'm in Group 67. I'll be on the ballot, Mavel Ruiz, and August 18th.
Is there any way that they can look up information on you?
Absolutely. They can search online, re-elect Judge Mavel Ruiz.com. And I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram. And yep.
We can find you.
You can.
Well, don't miss out on voting this August 18th in this primary. It's important that we retain fair-minded judges like Judge Ruiz here. So thank you.